Cast a 90% chance for rain today, high 50. Cloudy tonight, low 42. For tomorrow, partly sunny, high 65. Sunshine and 75 on Easter Sunday. Monday, partly cloudy, high 78. And for Tuesday, scattered showers, high 72. Overnight low was 44. Yesterday's high 64. 37 1/100ths of an inch of rainfall yesterday here at the overnight here at the WFIW studios. Yesterday, 8/10ths of an inch. Right now, winds out of the north at 10 miles an hour, humidity at 90%, pressure at 29.71, and we've got cloudy skies and 44 at the WFIW studios east of Fairfield.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good morning.
Hey,
How are
Christy
you?
Horning here with us, and we always have fun every time Christy comes down and plays around with us on the radio. And we had a little bit of a power problem last night. I was standing on my porch.
Yeah, we did.
And I heard a boom, and I looked over, and over by the Elks, there was a transformer that blew.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yes, it did, and it took a lot of people a lot of time to get their businesses back up.
I was sitting there and the power went out
Yeah.
once.
Ours
and
went
I'm
out
thinking-
twice
Yeah,
at
ours went out
Carnaby.
twice.
Yeah.
And then the second time, I heard a and then, it must have been the transformer. since
Yes.
We're not too far from the Elks.
By the
So
way,
did you have power then?
oh, I had power, but we didn't at church because I went to the Monday, Thursday service, and then we went over to Classic, and they were having problems.
Yeah.
After that.
Our power was out for about just long enough to have to reset all the
Yes,
clocks.
that's exactly what happened to me.
You know, Wolf Blitzer did not come, as we thought. You know, we had opined that they had taken out the old firehouse next to City Hall to become a copter pad for the CNN helicopter coming in for the major press conference yesterday morning. But Wolf Blitzer didn't even send his brother Coyote Blitzer, who we thought might be seen either in line at DQ or at Taco Tierra. There were no sightings there, or for that matter, the barbed wire of either of the Blitzers. Mm-hmm. So there you go on that. I was in McDonald's. Oh, by the way, I got a care package from our good friend from Louisville, Gary McGee, and this is for me it's a birthday thing. I'm a little early, but he sent me some neat baseball cards that I kind of like. Reggie Jackson, George Brett, Dave Duncan. Remember when he was the pitching coach for the Cardinals? This is when he was a catcher for the Indians.
Wow.
Isn't that neat that he
That's
did that?
really like you.
He's a nice guy. Thank you very much, Gary, for doing that. I was at McDonald's the other day, and I heard an interesting story. I'm just going to relate it to you. There's three older guys of our age. Okay, Turner?
Old fat guys.
Yeah. Well, let's
maybe not fat
go.
guys.
Let's not
We're
go
old
there.
fat guys, but
Let's not go there.
You guys aren't old.
Christy, don't go there.
Notice she didn't say you're not old and fat. She just said you're not
You're
old.
not old, yeah. You're kind of chunky, but anyway, one guy says, I hear this one guy say to the group, I just can't go number one. No matter what happens, I just can't go number one. I mean, it's a problem. It's a big problem for me.
It's not a going problem. It's a growing problem.
I can't go number one. Second guy says, well, that's not a problem for me at all. Not a problem. My problem's going number two. I just can't go number two. Can't go number two at all. Third guy looks at him. He goes, well, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem at all. I get up at 7:30. Number one, like a river. Not a problem. 7:35. Number two, like Mount St. Helens.
The morning Constitution.
Yeah, not a problem. And the guy says, well, what problems do you have? He said, well, I don't get out of bed until 9.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Hang on. I'm a little late.
That's all right.
All right.
Oh, gosh.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, no.
He wanted, I told him, I said, I might have a good story at the beginning. And he wanted to add on.
I forgot.
Oh, I bet he did.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you to Gary McGee.
That's very nice of Gary.
It wasn't
Gosh,
it?
darn
And nice. I've got a collection of baseball cards from him. Pretty much.
Yeah. Hang on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Now,
You just had to find it, didn't you?
I had to
There
find
you
it.
go.
I forgot all about it.
All right.
Oh, shoot.
Well,
now
that's-
you've got
that's
it on
that.
file.
We got a call we got to take?
Well, let's take a look.
All right.
Good one.
No,
Maybe
they
not.
left. Okay, in my pork burger stained hands,
All right.
I've got
Bucket
the
of bunk.
bucket o' bunk. Birthdays today, Elliot Ness. Died in 1957 when I was born. Died at the age of 54, famously known for bringing down Al Capone.
Leader of the Untouchables.
That's
Yeah.
right. The
That's right.
Untouchables, that's the name they were given. He died of a massive heart attack at the age of 54.
Let me guess, smoking and drinking.
I don't know.
Okay.
I couldn't find that out.
Stress.
Couldn't find that out. It wasn't Capone, though. And his autobiography spawned the 1957 TV series starring, do you remember who starred in The Untouchables, the TV show?
I should.
Robert Stack.
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Yes. There's also a
He's a
1987.
good-looking guy.
Yes, he was. Another good-looking guy. We're playing right to your strengths here, Christy. A 1987 film called The Untouchables starred whom?
Kevin Costner.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Also born on this date, Jane Mansfield.
Oh.
Vera Jane Palmer was her name.
She had a tragic death, though.
She did. 34 years old. She was an early Playboy playmate. She was the inventor of the wardrobe malfunction,
Ah, okay.
which became famous, of course, with Janet Jackson again later on. Was it Janet Jackson?
Yeah,
Yes,
it
it
was
was.
Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl.
First American actress to appear in her birthday clothes in 1963. The film Promises. Allegedly involved with both RFK and JFK. You know what's amazing is how many women the brothers shared, if all these stories are true.
Yeah.
That was a nice brotherly relationship. Mariska, pronounce that last name for me.
Hargitay, I
Hargitay.
think. I think.
That's her daughter. She's on Law and Order now.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's
Jane
true.
Mansfield's daughter. Okay.
And her dad was
Yeah, Mickey Hargitay, who was a
Mr.
bodybuilder.
Yeah, bodybuilder. Yeah.
Dick
But she
Sargent,
was smart, though, wasn't she?
yes, very smart.
Yeah, she had
was.
a high IQ.
And so, yes, she had a lot of things going for her.
Well, yes, she did. She didn't have to use her brains
Excuse
all
me,
the time.
I had something caught in my throat there. Good thing that I coughed. Dick Sargent, born on this date, he died in 1994 at the age of 64. Of course, he
Darren
was
Stevens.
He was the second Darren Stevens.
Ah.
Do you remember who he replaced?
Dick York.
Yeah.
Yes. And Sargent was very famous for walking out of a closet at one point in his career. He was also in Operation Petticoat, one of my favorite
Oh,
Cary
that's a
Grant
great one.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really good movie.
Remember, wasn't that the Pink Submarine where they had essentially they painted it because I think
Yeah,
that,
they
I think that
didn't
is
have
it.
gray paint, but they had to use pink.
Exactly, that's it. Dudley Moore, born on this date and died in 2002 at the age of 66. Arthur was his most famous
Oh, yeah.
movie, 1981. He had 4 strokes. He died of pneumonia. But he
Wasn't he also in the movie 10? With Bo
Yes,
Derek?
Bo
Yeah.
Derek. Absolutely. Yes, he was. He dated Susan Anton. You remember Susan Anton? Mm-hmm. That was a sight because he was 5'2".
And she was, what, 6?
She's 5'11". There's enough
5'11".
there that
Yeah.
made it very interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Also was married to Tuesday Weld at one time in his life. Ashley Judd on this date, born. She's 51 now. Of course, she's sometimes eclipsed by her 2 family members, Winona and Naomi, her mom and her sister. She, of course, is a famous graduate of
Big Kentucky fan.
Yeah, she's a
University of
Kentucky
Kentucky.
fan,
She got her
yeah.
bachelor's there. She also got a master's from Harvard, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Married to race car driver Dino Franchetti, but they've divorced. And she allegedly was one of the victims of Harvey Weinstein. Kate Hudson, 40 years old today, actress, Almost Famous was the movie that made her famous. Parents of Bill Hudson and Goldie Hawn.
Hawn.
Yes.
Ah.
Stepfather is Kurt Russell, and she's a very big proponent of TM, Transcendental Meditation.
Ah, okay.
Our guest here, of course, is Christy. And Christy, we have a question of the day. We put it out there. There were very little bites from the listeners. Do you want to go ahead and do our question of the day?
Sure. Why not?
All right, because it was fascinating. As I was sitting in the almost dark at Classic, I said to my wife, can you tell me who it would be living that I would want to meet and talk to?
Oh, it has to be living.
Yes. I didn't make that provision, but I would have to say it's hard to talk to somebody who's not living. So I'm going to...
Unless you call Mr. Peabody and go back in the Wayback
We could do that too, but no. I'm saying living.
The
okay?
living person.
And she knew my top three. I was stunned. And guess what?
George Strait was not a
I knew her top three,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I knew
George
what
Strait
number.
would be
I knew
one of
number.
hers.
I knew the start. George Strait was number 1.
1, 2, and 3. George Strait, George Strait, George Strait.
I'll start.
Okay.
Bob Costas. Let me tell you why. Because of his formative years at KMOX. I love him as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
And I love his incredible knowledge of baseball. So that, for me, that would be the most fascinating half hour or hour I would ever get to spend talking to Bob Costas. Saw him about 3 months ago at the St. Louis baseball dinner. Obviously didn't get time to either meet him or talk to him. That's my guy.
All right.
Who wants to go next?
Go ahead, Christy.
This might not be very popular, but honestly, I would like to meet the president.
Okay. Well, he was in my top 3.
Yeah. I would really, really like to meet him.
Okay. I'm
What would you talk about, Christy?
I would actually give him just kudos for being strong-willed, and it takes a special individual to put up with everything that he's had to put up with
At that level.
whether you agree with him or not.
Right.
Oh my gosh. That's something I could never do. I could never take all that criticism and still go on with my daily life, and that takes a special person, I think.
He's had a bushel basket of it.
I'm sure he's just got a big ego that it doesn't bother him maybe as much. I don't know, but I'd like to meet him. I really would.
I got slapped around a little bit because I had a rough time. I had a rough time with giving Tiger Woods the Presidential Medal of Honor just because he won a golf tournament, and there were a lot of people that gave me a rough time because that sounded like I was being negative of the president. So there you go.
okay. John Madden.
Oh,
Really?
yeah. John Madden would be a great one.
Boom!
I just think he'd be very
You're welcome to
I
join
think-
us, by
I
the
think
way,
it'd
if you'd
be a
like.
funny conversation.
Yeah.
I love him.
I want to explore that
love
for just a
watching him on
second. But
TV.
people can call in if they would like to discuss who that person is and why. They're welcome to call us.
Yep. Who would you like to meet and hang out with?
Madden.
Yeah, Madden.
I think that would be interesting.
I think it'd be very interesting.
Can you
Some of
imagine all the stories? Yeah.
that he would have from
Yeah.
the years, and then I could get him on the teleprompter telling me why.
You see, you and I are pretty easy to be able to read on this.
Yeah.
We would both be interested in somebody that can bridge broadcasting with sports. If you know us, we would be easy to guess as to who would you want to talk to. But I wouldn't have guessed Madden for you.
No, who would you have guessed?
I would have stayed in the broadcasting realm, and I would have thought somebody who, might
I would
been
have thought somebody in the music field. He loves music, so I would have thought.
For a moment, if there was a category for music, I would like to meet and talk to James Taylor. I think the world of his music. I know we do not agree on anything politically, but I'd love to talk to him about his music. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, for me, it would probably be Jimmy Buffett.
You like, you're a parrot head.
I like Buffett.
Mercy. How about you?
Oh gosh, there's so many stars. Country star. I love country music. I'd
Right.
like to meet George Strait. Honestly,
I'm going to put you together a package plan.
could you get us tickets and send us away?
I can do that.
When you win the lottery and you bring George here,
Well, there you go.
for just a
Come on.
second. I got a couple other items, and then we're going to take a break.
All right.
I just want, on this date,
Okay.
in 1764, the British Parliament banned American colonies from printing paper money. Now we do it all the time. The American Revolution in 1775 began fighting in that the whole war started on this date, the Revolutionary War. The first annual Boston Marathon was held on this date in 1897. In 1951, General Douglas MacArthur gave his Old Soldiers speech.
After he was replaced.
Yes, old soldiers never die. They just fade away. Yes.
Did that to Congress. Wasn't that in Congress?
No, it was at West Point.
Okay, West Point.
1958, the Giants and the Dodgers played the first Major League Baseball game on the West Coast. 1960, baseball uniforms actually had names put on the back of them for the first time.
What year was that?
1960.
Okay.
1982, Sally Ride became the first woman astronaut. I don't think that's interesting. 1924, the Chicago Barn Dance debuted on WLS radio in Chicago, renamed the National Barn Dance. David Lee Roth.
Back years ago, they had a whole bunch of shows like that. You know, Chicago Barn Dance, the Louisiana Hayride.
Yep.
You know, the Grand Ole Opry, of course.
On this date in 79, David Lee Roth collapsed from exhaustion during a Van Halen show.
Did he collapse or pass out?
Well, what's the difference?
1988.
Well, usually if you collapse, it's for different reasons than if you pass out.
Oh, okay. You said that.
This is what I put up with every day. Sonny Bono inaugurated as the mayor of Palm Springs on this date in 1988. That is the Bucket O' Bunk.
Oh, wow.
Want to take a break?
We
Yes.
We got some more stuff to talk about with Christy Horning on Morning Coffee coming up after this.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
We alarm our houses, and we alarm our cars. But when it comes to your personal information, it can be tough to know when something isn't right. That's where Discover Card can help. Now, we'll send you an alert if we find your Social Security number on any one of thousands of risky websites. And this service is free for card members. Just sign up online. It's our way of looking out for you, not just your account. Learn more at discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply.
Celebrate Earth Day with Carnaby. Love makes the earth go round. Receive free with a $100 purchase of Brighton Love the Earth canvas tote. Supplies limited. Celebrate with Carnaby Monday, April 22nd. Register to win a tote and a pair of Brighton flips. Every day is Earth Day. It's our Earth, so let's protect it. Find them on Facebook and check out their Stack of the Day, Fashion Duo, and the What's on My Feet today. Don't miss out on all the happenings at Carnaby Square.
Mark your calendars. Fairfield Memorial Hospital and the Horizon Healthcare Clinics in Grayville, Fairfield, and Sisney will be offering reduced rate lab testing May 20th through 25th. A variety of tests will be offered at reduced rates from $10 to $35 per test, including general health profile, glucose, lipid panel, and hemoglobin A1C. Specific cost dates and times for the reduced lab testing can be found at fairfieldmemorial.org, Facebook, or by calling 618-847-8262.
Research shows that on average, 50% of Americans carry cash while 77% carry a smartphone. Wouldn't you love to pay a friend with just a few clicks on your phone? Well, now you can. This is Jessica Sanders at the Fairfield Banking Company, and I'm excited to introduce Spin. Spin is a person-to-person payment option that allows you to send money instantly via our mobile app. Pay your beautician, your babysitter, anyone that has a debit card and smartphone. Give us a call or stop by any of our 4 branches for more details. The Fairfield Banking Company, we're the hometown banks, member FDIC.
Hi, this is Bill Stevens with another time capsule quiz. Which month and year was it when Lyndon Johnson was elected president in a landslide, as challenger Barry Goldwater carried only 6 states? our Mariner 4 satellite began its flight to the planet Mars. 3 days before his rematch with Sonny Liston, heavyweight champ Muhammad Ali was rushed to the hospital for an emergency hernia operation. Ken Boyer and Brooks Robinson were picked as baseball's MVPs. John Huard of Notre Dame won the Heisman Trophy. And all these winners were new on the radio.
I'm Mr. Lonely. A wrong star scream. Is on my side. I'm gonna be strong like working in the rain.
I saved the life of Ringo.
Reach out for me. On a mountain of love. Something tells me I'm into something good. But she's not there.
Okay, think it over. The answer and a little bit of the top song from the month and year are coming up.
At Jackie's Hidden Treasures, you never know what you'll find. Pick up a certificate at the Big Deal Store for incredible savings. There's always something new at Jackie's Hidden Treasures on the Square in Sisney.
November 1964. I'll never forget him, the leader of the pack.
The Shangri-Las and Leader of the Pack, the top song of November 1964. This is Bill Stevens for tcapsule.com. Back soon with another Time Capsule.
At FNB, we believe in us, not us, the bank, us, the farmers, us, the families, us, the community. That's why we continuously and proudly support, invest in, and volunteer throughout our region. So whether you're from Fairfield, Wayne City, Sisney, Grayville, or anywhere in between, you'll always find a friendly and helpful neighbor right here at home. FNB, Banking Business Life. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Morning Coffee.
I have a piece of information that came from the newsroom. It was on the news earlier in the week, but I had somebody say, please re-inform us. The Fairfield Lions Club sponsoring their annual Easter egg hunt on Saturday, that would be tomorrow, at Fairfield City Park, 1 o'clock. Also, Fairfield Memorial Hospital has donated 100 additional filled eggs with 2 special eggs with a coupon for 2 bicycles. That's good. To be given away at the event. Thousands of eggs filled with either gold, silver, or bronze for cash. All children preschool to 6th grade. That leaves me out. I was looking for something to do tomorrow afternoon, and I was going to go out there, and I thought I might even be able to outrun a couple of those kindergartners. Eggs. So that's coming up tomorrow. So I was asked, I was prompted.
And you got her done.
I delivered.
You did.
You did.
I was going to mention something.
Yes, go ahead.
Last night, I had someone message me, and it was actually Lori Sullivan. Mm-hmm. And her grandmother, Grace Sullivan, is going to be 103 years old.
Oh, my.
April 30th. And they're doing a card shower, and they'd like to have 103 cards. So I think everybody listening today, if you'll just go buy a card and send one out there. And she's at Brookstone.
Mm-hmm.
103.
103.
Wow. Still pretty sharp, too.
Yeah, she is, and still looks really pretty every day. I mean, she
I see her in church every Sunday,
yeah.
And yes, I'll have to say something. Grace was a force in town, especially at the formation of the college. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, I've always been very grateful to her.
You know, at her school, I mean, she's admired by many.
So, good. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. So everybody go buy a card and send her one. And say happy 103rd.
What kind of, any special stuff going on for you this week? You're working tomorrow, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I'm working today. Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you're working right now.
This is a fun job.
Yes, you get to do this.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about fast food. Not on air.
No.
And I thought this was an interesting report. Black market thieves are stealing more than $75 million in old cooking grease each year, according to a new report. A man was caught earlier this month siphoning about 150 gallons of grease from a dumpster behind a Burger King in Northern Virginia.
All he was doing was dumpster diving. How is that stealing?
Because it's their grease.
Okay, I guess so.
And it's hard to believe that there would be extra grease at a Burger King. But anyway. Rendering companies normally pay restaurants a fee to remove the grease, and they look for things like biofuel or animal feed. Did you know that?
I did not.
I mean, there's some cars that are running on
biofuel,
fry grease,
yeah,
from McDonald's. I mean, of course, every dog in town chases after that car as it goes by. But isn't that interesting that that's become? It's sort of like when people noticed that their copper was missing out of their backyard, or aluminum or whatever. Now it's grease.
Wow,
that's crazy.
And it's an essential part of my diet, and people are stealing it.
Yeah. But
So there you go.
It's after they have used it to, take care of your diet.
It's been rendered.
Yeah.
They, Christy,
Was it the first time the guy had stolen grease?
Must not.
Because
I think
would
he's
imagine if it wasn't the first time, he was able to slide away.
Mercy.
I'm just full of them.
You are, Mark.
Yep. Well, he's doing hard time for grease theft.
The word on the street is that you're one.
Is a new hypercar. Get a load of this. Only $2.5 million.
Only?
Oh, wow.
Yep. You imagine somebody, and you're sitting at the stoplight up there at First and West Delaware and bumps your bumper when you got a $2.5 million car. It can get to 60 miles per hour faster than a Formula One car. It can get to 180 miles an hour faster than an F-16 fighter.
Why would
$2.5 million. I don't know why you would, except for that you'd certainly be able to, make everybody. But of course, now I always look from my front porch when a what are you doing? You're smiling. You're in trouble here.
Just writing a note. I'm going to be passing notes.
You're passing a note to her about something, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay.
We don't do this in school.
And then I'll let you.
And here's the thing: no more chewing gum in here. You understand? Uh-oh. No inside jokes.
It wasn't on the list.
It was not. This was not the idea of this car was not brought up yesterday at the press conference.
Okay.
The city is not buying a $2.5 million. In fact, the city only has about $2 million in the TIF. You'd have to put on some ball tires to be able to buy this car.
Well, I was, my thought was, maybe the police department could use that. Chase down the speeders that come roaring up Main Street from east of town.
He's got his own special.
Oh my gosh! Don't they go?
I have my own.
He's got his own special problems here in town that they do roar up. I keep thinking after I griped about that, the last thing I need to do is take out Grace Sullivan up at, as she's trying to get across to the press or something like that. Oh God, people would just, or someone older. The Colorado governor signed a bill into law this month that will allow children to operate lemonade stands without a permit.
Well, isn't that nice?
Last year, Jennifer Knowles helped her young sons set up a lemonade stand on a hot day in Denver. Her children's entrepreneurial endeavor was soon shut down by police for failure to obtain a $125 permit.
Oh my gosh!
Can you imagine?
Crazy.
Isn't that stupid?
It is
of course.
crazy.
But the kids were all given some pot.
Yeah.
In Colorado.
They could sell the cookies. They just couldn't sell lemonade.
They sold special cookies.
Yeah, there you go.
Could have had a brownie with that. And maybe the cops would have looked the other way. Isn't that sad?
Lots
Yes.
of jobs.